Namaste. Today we will see about Vedic cosmos. Vedic cosmos defined by the ancient sages in the Bhagvat Purana. We will see how they have defined the different planets, how they have defined the different planets, and they have actually been to that places, and they have actually written everything whatever they have saw. So as in current science we say that we don't believe on such things which we can't prove. So this is what current science says. But if we see our ancient scriptures, our Vedas, our Puranas, whatever they have mentioned, the ancient astronomers, ancient sages and ancient kings actually went to that places. So it is as a proof, because now whatever we are seeing right now in the current world is nothing but the going towards whatever written in the books. For example, multiverse. Multiverse has been defined already into the old Puranas that there are a number of universes. But nowadays the multiverse concept is being coming out because of the string theory. Till now we have been thinking that there is only one universe. So let's start. You may get some different ideas and you may get some new way of researching into the areas. Let's start. This is how the cosmos is defined in Bhagavad Purana. So let's start and understand how the structure of the universe is defined by the ancient astronomers, ancient sages who went to the different planets, who went to the different celestial areas and even saw the life there. So let's start with this view. This is the top view. Now I'll zoom it a little bit. Okay. Now see, this is the Meru Parvata. This yellow mark is a Meru Parvata, which is 28,000 miles broad. And on height, if I'll go to some magnifier for that, we'll see the height of Meru Parvata is 8 lakh miles. And the weight at the top is 2,56,000 miles. So this is how Meru Parvata is looking out. If we see the front side of this universe, we will see the Meru Parvata standing in front. So this is the top view. So let's analyze one by one. Okay. So I'll close this magnifier and I'll start with zooming the content. Okay. So around this Meru Parvata, there are few more mountains named Trishinga, Makara, Jamara, Devakutti, Karavira and Kailasa, Pariyatra and Pavana. Now all these mountains surrounding Meru Parvata are 16,000 miles in broad in width, and their length is 1,44,000 miles. There are many other mountains which are surrounding these 8 mountains, and the name of the mountains are Karunga, Krupa, Kusumba, Vaikuntha, Trikuta, Shishira, Patanga, Rishabha, Nanga, Shipra, Narada, Jarudi, Hamsa, Vaiduya, Shankha, and so on. After these mountains, there are 4 gardens. These gardens are called as, one is Nandan, one is Sarvatobhadra, one is Vaibrajra, and one is Chitranda. Now there are bigger trees just outside of those gardens. One is a Jambu, one is a Dekuta, one is a Satvasala, and another one is Mahakadamba. Now these all are the big trees. Now Jambu tree, through Jambu tree, there are number of fruits, bigger fruit from Jambu trees which are continuously flowing the juice from that fruits, and that juice is actually forming a river named Jambu Nadi. Beside of that Jambu Nadi, it forms a kind of gold. It's called as Jambunandan gold. There is a tree named Devkuta. From that tree also there are number of bigger fruits like the size of elephant, and the number of rivers are flowing through this tree, and those rivers are nothing but the juices from the tree. In case of another tree, there are number of rivers flowing through this tree, and those are including milk, yogurt, honey, butter. Now these trees are very bigger, very huge. Their size is very huge. And here, in case of Mahakadamba Vriksha, the honey is flowing down from this tree. Now, if you see Yaksha, Gandharva, Kinnar, or in Western language, we can say it as a jinn, and those other kind of beings are actually staying here in this area. And they are staying here, they are living their lives. Now, these are the four big mountains which are surrounding the Meru Parvata. Now, these four mountains with the name Mandara, Kumuda, Suprashrava, and Meru Mandara. If you'll see, the height is 80,000 miles and the width is also 80,000 miles for all of these mountains. Now on the union of these mountains there are big trees, four big trees. Those big trees are having height of 8,800 miles. Their roots are spreading at 800 miles. And on the top they are also spreading their leaves and their other things by 8,800 miles. So these are very huge trees which are actually separating all the mountains. Now there are different bigger ponds near these different trees. There is a banyan tree which is in between Kumuda and Mandara mountain, and there is a water on the union. This banyan tree is having almost more than 100 branches which are very bigger in size and spread all over. This Kadamba Vriksha, which is in between this Kumuda and Supraswa mountain, and there is a pond with water which tests as a sugarcane. If we see out here, I'll start a magnifier one more time. See here, this is nothing but a rose apple tree, and the water is actually tasting like honey. There is a mango tree here, and there is a pond with water which is actually tasting like a milk. So this kind of structure is surrounding the Meru Parvata. Now this all part which we are seeing here, this part, it's called as a Ilavarta. The one which I have said like Siddha, Kinna, Yaksha, Gandharva and all those kind of entities actually staying in this part as well. So there are a number of mountains here which are actually separating the different land of Ilavarta. So Ilavarta is separated into 8 different parts. One is Kuru, Hiranyamaya, Ramayaka, Harivarsha, Kimapurusha and Bharat. So these all parts are separated from the different mountains. So there are more mountains here. If you see, this is Shangavan, Shweta, Nila, Nishoda, Hemakuta and Himalaya. Himalaya is nothing but the one which is we can see in India. India is also called as a Bharat, but I guess in ancient Puranas or in ancient scriptures, Bharat is nothing but whole land like earth which we are now. Now surrounding with all of this land, so this is nothing but covered with a salt water, and the salt water is of the same of 8 lakh miles. After this salt water we can see that there is one more land. So this is a bigger land, one more land we see here. So now this land, it's called as a Plakshadweep, which is nothing but 16 lakh miles in a breadth, and its height is same as a jumbo tree. So jumbo tree is nothing but the tree which we are seeing it here. Okay. Now this whole land is divided by a king into his sons. Now if you see here, see it is governed by Idhamashiva, son of Priyavarta. So Priyavarta king actually gave this land to one of his sons, and his son actually divided this land into 7 different parts, and then they went for complete devotion of Lord. So this land is divided into 7 different parts. So there are the different names. Abhaya, we'll see it in magnifier, so it will be Abhaya. Then it is Arun, we'll see it Aruna. Then here we'll see Aramanda. Then we'll see it here is Subhadra. Then Shanta. Then here it's Akshema. And here is Amruta. So these are the different lands which are actually made by the king for these sons, and their different sons are actually governing the lands. So in between these lands, these are the rivers flowing through each, and there are mountains which are separating these lands. After this land, so after this land, there is one more big sea surrounding all the structure, and that sea is made up of sugarcane, and it is of the same breadth as Plakshadweepa, 16 lakh miles. After this, there is one more island which is name of Shalmadweep. It's because there is a Shalmali tree, and because of that Shalmali tree, it is called as a Shalmadweep. The size of the Shalmadweep is 32 lakhs miles. So if you can see here, the whole, sorry about this. So Shalmadweep is also divided into 7 different parts by the son of Priyavarta. And these 7 different parts have 7 different names, which are nothing but the names of their sons, and they are governing this whole land. This land is divided by the different mountains and the rivers. After that, we can see there is a Kushadweep. Kushadweep is nothing but the island where actually the different kind of grass is found, and that grass is like a flames, but very calm flames. That's why it is called as a Kushadweepa. And let me magnify it a little bit. So this is a Kushadweepa, which is 64 lakh miles in breadth, and the beings which are residing in Kushadweepa actually following the fire god. The beings which are staying in this Shalmadweep are actually worshipping god Moon. Now this Kushadweepa is also divided into 7 different parts to the 7 different suns. There are different mountains and rivers in the Kushadweep as well. So if we go ahead of that, and after this Kushadweep, we will see there is a Kraunchadweep, which is nothing but 1 crore 28 lakhs in miles. There is a big mountain named Krauncha, because of which this dweep is called as a Kraunchadweep. So this is a Kraunchadweep. Now in between Kushadweep and Kraunchadweep, there is a sea which is actually tasting like a ghee. It is the same length as Kushadweep. Now Kraunchadweep is also divided into 7 different parts, as we have seen previously. There are 7 mountains and 7 rivers. Now after this Kraunchadweep, there is a Shakadweep. Shakadweep is nothing but because there is a huge shaka tree, and because of this tree, this island is called as a Shakadweep, which is nothing but 6 crore 50 lakhs miles in their size. Now in between Kraunchadweep and Shakadweep, there is a sea of water which is actually tasting like a milk. Now after this, there is one more dweepa named Pushkar Dweep. Now this Pushkar Dweep is because there is a big lotus, and that lotus is having more than like 10,000 petals or more petals, I guess. And yeah, 10 crores petal, I'm sorry about that. So it contains 10 crore petals, and the size of this island is 5 crore 12 lakh miles. And Lord Brahma is said to be situated on this land, on this lotus. In between Shakadweep and Pushkar Dweep, there is a sea which is nothing but tasting like a yogurt. This Pushkar Dweep is also divided into 7 different parts by the son of Priyavarta. After this Pushkar Dweep, actually the Pushkar Dweep is divided into two parts by a mountain named Manasattura mountain. Now this Manasattura mountain is very important to see because it's a breadth and height of almost like 80,000 miles, and it is covered completely surrounding whole disk. This Manasattura mountain. Now if we see this Manasattura mountain, we can find that sun actually traveling ahead of above of this Manasattura mountain. It is completely uh, traveling through it in a circle. Now whenever actually it is traveling into this north direction, it is called as Uttarayana, and when it is traveling in the south direction, it is called as a Dakshinayana. Now on this particular mountain, there are four different places on the four different directions, and these places are nothing but the places of Lord Indra. Now when sun travels in this north direction, it is called as a day of a demigod, and when it is actually traveling on the south side, it is called as a night of a demigod. So this is how actually sun is traveling in its orbit completely. It is called as a samvatsara, completely encircling the Manasattavara. Now after this Manasattavara mountain, there is a sea of sweet water. After the sea of sweet water, there is a land where actually the different kind of entities actually stays. So many living beings are actually staying in this land as well. After this land, there is a land of gold, but this gold is so pure that whatever material things fall on that gold never comes back, never appear again. And so that's why no living being actually goes near that gold. Now there is, after this gold, we can see that there is a mountain named Lokaloka mountain, which is very high in height. It's so high that it's actually high as a Dhruvaloka. Dhruvaloka means planetary system of pole star. So it is actually covering the whole disk, whole complete complete structure of land. No light can escape from this side to this side of this Lokaloka mountain. So all the light is only visible here. There is no light outside. Now on this Lokaloka mountain, we can see that there are four different big elephants are placed by the divine energy. So these elephants are actually maintaining the planetary system of whole universe. Now the outer border is of three loka, Bhu, Bhuvarva and Swa. Now we will see about that in a little while. Now if we'll see, the loka is nothing but 1/4 of the universe. It means 1 billion miles. So it's nothing but 1/4 of the universe. The universe is said as it's 4 billion miles in their size by the ancient astronomers. Now if we go outside of this as well, we will find out that there is Aloka Varsha, which is 1 billion miles in this size. Now this Aloka Varsha is very big, and ahead of Aloka Varsha there is only complete purity. and that is a destination for those who are actually seeking moksha. So they will actually go in this side. So this is how actually the universe is seen by the ancient old sages who went on the different places. Now, why this structure can be reliable is because the fact that there are a number of stories which are written all around the different scriptures. For example, Mahabharata, Ramayana. In Mahabharata, Lord Krishna took Arjuna from this Bharat Varsha to this land just to take son of a Brahmana. So it's clearly evident that ancient people could have gone to the different places. They have seen all these places, and the divine energy, the Vishnu, actually stays here in this part. Now, if you will see the how actually it looks like, see, the sun is situated in the center of complete universe, and this is nothing but 2 billion miles from the top. Now there are the three different parts. One is Bhuvaloka, Bhuloka, and Swargaloka. The different the distance between Bhuloka and Bhuvarloka is called as Antariksha, and all ghosts, jinn, yaksha, gandharva, rakshas, angels, all kind of beings actually stay in this part. Now I'll see about this Bharat Varsha because it's called as the earth or the land where actually we are staying comes under this Bharat Varsha. Now, if we will actually see the Bharat Varsha, there are number of different mountains, out of which few mountains are still existed and they are existed with the same name. There are number of rivers which are actually existed now also with their same name. It is says that the people which are born on Bharatvarsha are of three types: Sattva Guna, Rajaguna, and Tamoguna. So people are divided accordingly. The beings who are actually taking birth on this Bharatvarsha are actually the beings which are bounded with their karmas. So, because of their different karmas, they are again and again taking birth on the different planets. So, this is the area of research. Whoever wants to actually research about how this structure of the universe actually resemble with the current scenario. Now, why this structure is reliable is because there are a number of incidences where it has been seen that people, old ancient people, actually moved from Earth to the different higher dimensions, different higher planets on these different islands, and they came back. So it's a research area, and I'm not saying it can be 100% perfect, whatever I have researched and drawing. So it might be possible that there are a number of errors might be in this, but I have tried completely from whatever I have studied, and this is only for research purpose. So if anyone wants to have research in that, anyone wants to have some more information, they can contact me at saurabh@gmail.com. SAURABHSHELAR@gmail.com. Thanks. And please don't forget to subscribe us. You can go to our website saurabh.com. You can find us in Facebook, facebook.com/saurabh. You can write me for any queries, saurabh@gmail.com. One more very important thing is this is only an educational video. So please, if anybody is got hurted by any of the things, please forgive us. Another thing is we are actually researching onto the lots of different things, especially to the Vedas and Puranas. So we need lots of people's hands to actually dig into these areas. So if anyone is interested into doing the projects in these works, or anyone interested into going more deeper into the knowledge, definitely can contact us. We also require a lot of donation because we are thinking to create a 3D planetary system, a simulation system which actually depicts the old Veda structure. So definitely donations are also welcome, and if anyone wants us for any seminars or any programs for speeches, definitely you can contact me. Thanks a lot. Namaste.